Okay, so now I've knit, let me get the shadows here. Now I've knit the 4 rows. All right, here was our provisional cast on with the little, you can see the little chains, and this is why it's an easy provisional cast on, because these little chains, you can just rip these out very easily. No muss, no fuss. Okay, so here's my 4 rows, and this side, it's going to be, because this is where you start, so it's going to be a loosey-goosey, so it's just going to be a thing. But, so what you're going to do next is take the last chain that you made and just start pulling, blink, 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 and then when you get to here, you'll see this is the first stitch right here. I'll use these are pointier. This is the first stitch that I started knitting with the working yarn, and I'm going to hold on to it as I pull this yarn, and whoop, it just fell right off, and now I have 1 stitch with the working yarn. I'm going to keep going across into the working yarn and pull out the provisional cast off. See how easy that just comes right out. But you gotta, put the needle in first so you don't lose that stitch. You can't just rip it all out and have, I mean, you could, but it would be, I don't know, it might be a little risky. All of these stitches might just fall apart because it's not, they're very, well, not very, but they're precariously in there. They're not, because we only did a few stitches, so they're not solidly in there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Okay, so now, then you just pull the other end of the chain business. So now you've got, make these nice and tight. Now you've got your little 4 rows of yarn that is your working yarn. You've got stitches on this needle, stitches on this needle, and you're ready to go. So when you're starting let's say you're making socks, you would start in, well, I guess no, you'd have to start with wherever the working yarn is, and you just start knitting, and immediately you would knit 1 and do whatever increase you want to do. I like to do a yarn over and then knit through the back loop when I come back to it. It's nice and neat. And then just knit across. And then once I get halfway there, let's see, that's about halfway. Then I pick up my next set of needles and it makes the little triangle. And so it's all solidly on here. You just knit across, and you got to pull a little bit in between when you switch needles so you don't get any ladders. And then before you get to the end, yarn over, boom. That's that side. And now I know that this side is the heel stitches and this side is the top of the foot stitches. It's a visual. This gives you a visual cue of where you are. So even if you put it down, you'd be like, oh, I'm knitting on the top of the foot stitches. I know where I am. And then just keep going. And with a toe-up sock, you would just do 1 round of increases, 1 round of knit plain till you get to the number of stitches that you need for your sock. Let's say, you're knitting 60 stitches. You would keep doing this until you get to 60 stitches. But anyway, that is a provisional cast on. I did it for a sock, but if it still sort of works for whatever provisional thing that you're doing. If you're knitting flat, you can still use this cast on, but you just don't have to make the little rectangle. I just did that for a sock demonstration. Okay.